Welcome back to Vampyr. Or Vampire, if you want to call it that. Boink. Boink. I believe this is the one. It's been a minute. Ah yes, we were just getting off the boat. Look at the detail. Very fancy.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. Mr. Hampton needs me right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he really needs you. What are they doing? They're really just staring at him. Intently. Okay, well. How do you walk?
Come on, you bastard! You can do better than that! Nah! It's my turn!
Oh, ah.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite!
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
Alright, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
Embracing Clay Cox, provide massive XP. I could go murdering spree. No, we'll go good boy route. We'll do the good boy route.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Yeah. Yeah. More stuff around here. Been a minute. Been a minute.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
Do you?
What? What happened? Did I black out? Whoa, I feel giddy.
How do I heal again? I forget.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Are you sure about that? Okay. TNG. TNG. Ah. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Okay, I got you. Ooh, fucking. Oh, why? I should not be having frame problems. Look, the Pembroke. The hospital. And some frame problems.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit.
Indeed.
I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Porter.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the 2nd floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Busy.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
2nd floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Nurse Crane.
Go clean yourself up. You got too much blood all over you. Also, why am I getting like... I'm getting like some... Vibration. Video. Advanced. Everything is on fucking maximum. You would think this computer would be able to handle it, though. VSync. Hold on, let me look up something real quick. Short vertical synchronization. Screen tearing. Oh. Okay. If you're seeing a lot of screen tearing and you want it to stop, you should turn VSync on. Would that be good for this game, I wonder? Oops. That's not what I want. I'll turn it on. Might help. I can't open these boxes. That mouse sensitivity is insane. I have to train my hand to not move so damn fast.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people.
Oh,
It just lacks hope.
I just realized that was a multi-choice thing.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
I forgot the Y thing is a one-time deal. You can only choose once. I forgot that was a thing.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous, dear colleague.
Ah,
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
don't be ridiculous. Why's there a random chair? It's random. Not to mention it's just sitting out here being rained on. Ooh. Gimme, gimme, gimme. How do I... that's not it. Oh, that's lock on. Ah, it's V. B, V, B, V. I'm just trying to remind myself. Well,
Good
the
evening,
buttons.
sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Gimme, gimme. What you got?
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Milton shotgun. Holy fuck, 315? I only have 86. 296. Okay. Holy fuck, those are expensive. Oh. Okay, okay. What's this? Oh, is this cell? Oh, so I get like fucking half price or quarter of the price? That's cute. You're cycled, huh? I'll wait on doing stuff like that. Given that we're playing on... How do I can't tell. I think we're playing on hard, right? Yeah. I think we're playing on hard. So, no. I might want to hold on to things a little bit longer. I don't think I ever played hard on PS4. I don't really played, like, normal or whatever. Cool. What's the point of this? Oh. She's walking. She's moving. Okay. How do I heal again? There's one, right? I can't heal.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Are you sure about that?
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
If you look right here, her shirt's bleeding through her face.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, get your invisible cord! Fighting an invisible!
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Are you sure about that?
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Okay.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore. does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
What's the button again? E? F. It's F. Oh, she's healthy. R? 5? Wow. Strong-willed woman.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Box. They kind of flash, but they kind of blend in too. Kind of looking for Tippets. Talk to him again.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
I see.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Not the chatty type, huh? Let's talk.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Oh, did I not ask him any questions?
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Oh. Local investigations. Citizen. Huh. What's this? Books. Okay. So, because they're paired together, that means they share some interest, and then the ones alone mean they're just... Nobody would care if they died? Question mark? Although a pillar means if they died, the whole thing crumbles. I don't know. Oh, Sean Hampton's the pillar of that community. Those are the people we met in that other town. Or other area or whatever. Squeeze me. Dorothy Crane is part of this pillar community. What? But she's... Oh shit, she's not actually over here. What? Suspicious. We know why he's here. He got attacked. Why is Dorothy here? Oh, is this just chapters? Telling us chapters? Okay, here's the map. How do we... Okay.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Understandable. Alright.
Goodbye, Milton. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
That's Pembroke nowadays. So many days.
Oh, if I hold Q, he
A
walk.
lot of my own life.
There we go.
Damn. The
Time
pain.
has lost its effect on me.
It's here
But
again.
the suffering continues.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
A German shell.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
So why stay?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Okay.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Who are you?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Okay.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
No, it's not.
What do you require? Proof of my powers?
Yes.
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Am I supposed to enable it? Dingleberry.
I cannot enter.
Okay. What's happening? What is Tippets doing? Tippets? 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 What are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you shiny? What is he doing? He's coming upstairs. What? Did you see a double one? I just saw another one. Oh, let me go outside.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
I found it. What? Oh. Secrets. That's right, I remember now.
Damn it! Why is this so difficult every time?
What is he doing?
That is better. That is better. I will make it through one more night.
Taking drugs? Cocaine. Oh, it's space. I'm Dingleberry. Whoa, 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 whoa. No. Come on. Ha! Finally, I got to heal myself. Give me your blood. Give me more blood. Nom, 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 nom. Swipe, 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 swipe. I'm out of mana. I'm out of stem, not mana. I guess the blood could be confused as mana. Oh, he almost got that hit on me. You were almost able to hit me. What the hell is he doing over here? Nothing? Alright. He didn't even give me anything. That's boring. Ooh. Nothing. Nothing. What's over here?
It's locked, all right.
Why would it be locked? Or is that not the hospital? What is that? Ooh. Oh, I can't teleport now. I have to run. What's over here? Anything over here? No. Hello, sis. How are things in the big city? Here in Brum, things are not so good. It seems the flu is here again. And we have many new cases of infection in the neighborhood. Do you remember Miss Scheller, the old drinking hag from the 3rd floor? She passed away 2 days ago. And her flat is already occupied again. Jeez. You would have to pay me a huge amount of money to go sleep in the bed in which a woman died of the flu just a few hours ago. Sorry I didn't time to quickly answer your last letter. Between taking care of little Paul, Mom, Dad, and my job at the factory, I rarely find time to write to my favorite sister. By the way, my son says hello to his Auntie Pippa. You should see the little bugger. Already driving me mad. And Mom says you bring back some of those marvelous cakes the next times you come back home. Next times? What? That's... Alright. In your last letter, you told me that you thought about quitting your job at the Pembroke Hospital. I have to tell you, Pip, you better think twice. There are always jobs at the factory, but wages are shit. It is as boring as a day without a shag. Oh, I have a new fiance, and no, I'm no slut. You moral bitch, you. So if you really want to quit and do something more useful than counting the dead every morning, maybe you better stay in London and join that band you told me about. The Guard of Previn, or something like that? Previn? Where'd I go? Or something like that. Never heard of them, but if they are, like you said, some sort of civil militia trying to make a difference, then maybe it's a good choice for you. Just be sure to let others go in front. That's how my poor Billy got killed in France, by leading too many patrols. Bloody war. Anyway, come back as soon as you can and give me all the good news before that. I'm your affectionate sister, Lucy, Paul, Mom, and Dad. Oh, Pippa.
It's locked.
Oh. Oh, there's Swansea. Anybody shiny? There's Dorothy Crane.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make things change.
This is unacceptable! Your patients need you. Let's go.
You should be proud of what you've achieved. This hospital represents hope for many people in need of help.
Maybe you're right. But at the moment, I feel like we're just a cemetery waiting room.
I mean...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
You're not wrong, I guess. You shinies. Huh? I knew it was something to be in the building.
You don't mind if I search your pockets, do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
huh? Confrontation must happen.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Look, it's for the greater good. Dear love, I finally found the missing money for fee asked by the ambulance driver to bring you to the hospital. Don't worry about nothing now except getting better, for I took care of everything. I asked some of our neighbors and they told me that this Mr. Hooks is something of an honest crook. You may ask for extra money in exchange for a bed, but the bed is then guaranteed. I'm sorry, I refuse to pay first, and I realize now that the important thing is to get you better soon. The Pembroke Hospital is a good place, I heard, despite the bad behavior of this Milton Hooks. I promise you that everything is okay now. I'll see you in your clean bed as soon as possible. Your fondest love. I'm not pronouncing that. Fuck that. Interesting. Charging people? Disappointing. Nope.
It's locked.
Oh, of course it is.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
That doesn't make any sense.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Interesting.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Yeah, about that.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
How dare you steal from the dead, Rakesh? Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir. What they possessed could be useful for the living. And I'm sure they would agree if they could speak.
I don't think anybody cares about the police.
You should show respect for the dead. What about their loved ones who may treasure these items you sell?
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir. I would never deprive anyone of their family artifacts.
What do you
Please
sell?
show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
A formula written on a piece of paper seems complex and needs to be analyzed. That's really expensive. I'll take it. Who knows, I might need it. It doesn't really have anything, honestly.
As for me,
Let me talk to the doctors first over here.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I never could keep anything from her.
Any goodies back here? Nope.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Ooh.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Oh, That's a good one. Yeah, that seems a little standoffish. Strickland said the same thing, as knowledge is our main weapon. I'll do the same as he did.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon, and it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity. These men and women have put their faith in us, Dr. Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Agreed.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Once again, standoffish. It seems aggressive.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
Yeah.
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Yeah, I'm not trying to come off as an asshole to everybody.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, Perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time, his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
I don't believe you.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
Oh man, all these choices are actually good. Except for that one. I'll take that back. Except for that one. That one's kind of shit. Damn, but these kind of come off assholey-ish sometimes. You know what? I'm gonna do the assume the consequences.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, that was kind of weak. That was a weak one. I'm gonna admit that. That was a weak-ass response.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
And by talk later, not at all.
You always knew the words to calm. Good evening, idiot.
My dear children, sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry, Daddy will go out of the hospital as soon as the doctors fix his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you are Harvey Fiddick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick, the big guy with the mustache who helped me repair the house doors last spring? Go see him and ask him for a few bob. He won't refuse to spare you a few. I'm sorry I can't work anymore for now, but we'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again. As soon as the doctors fixed my arm. I... ... Interesting. That would be you, right?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Yeah.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Poor little bleeders.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Oh well, what's going on in here?
Doctor.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Why is there just a random fucking hacksaw over there?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
You must.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Okay.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm clearly missing something
Waste your
here.
time with me.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
I checked on him. There's nothing to check on.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief. but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
What is the situation?
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Right.
Can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Well,
goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
This was a waste of time in this room. I mean, it wasn't not all for naught.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Personal questions? Nope, apparently not. Anything over here? Nope, apparently not.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Sorry for disturbing you, I guess. Let's go talk to Dum Dum over here.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yep.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can. Question is, where can we go? Where is it safe?
You two are
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Isn't that illegal?
Goodbye, Milton.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Fatigue? Oh. Something about these two here. Maybe if I wasn't like standing in the window, maybe they'll do something. Kind of just waiting for anybody to do something at this point. Oh. You don't see anything.
How can I be sure I'll not find your unconscious body in the house again?
I promise you, you'll not find my unconscious body.
For God's sake, how can you say such a thing?
How can you refuse to listen? I tried to warn you for so long.
No, I won't let my only son die. You promised me you'll stay alive.
Your son lied to you, like the whole world lies to us.
Suicide? It's the only thing I can think of. Why hide that?
If Pembroke is still standing after this incident.
I assume it's suicide.
Hi, Dr. Reed. I know that Pembroke will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Yeah, sure. So.
Good evening, Doctor.
You lied
How's
to me.
my son doing?
You lied to me.
Your son wished to die, Beatrice. Why did you hide such crucial information?
Are you not aware suicide is a crime?
What?
Mortimer could be thrown in jail.
What?
I can't let that happen. I won't.
I understand you fear the legal consequences, Mrs. Goswick. But don't you realize your silence significantly affects your son's case?
All my son needs is help and comprehension. Not judgment and punishment for what he may or may not have done.
Suicide is a crime. Okay, that's weird. Fuck off.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
This hospital seems to be falling apart.
You.
But in the
Good evening, Mr.
circumstances,
Goswick.
I'm willing to give him the
How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm looking down upon you now.
Admit it, Mortimer. Your mother had you hospitalized here because you tried to kill yourself.
Yes, it's true.
All right, then. This is the first time we've really shared information about your case. Shall we call this progress?
Call it what you want, Dr. Reed.
You can trust me.
You can trust me. I won't report you to the authorities. My one and only concern is your health.
I guess I should thank you then.
Why is she in the background talking?
Can I help you in any way, Mr. Goswick?
I wrote a letter for my mother. She was supposed to read it after my death. But I suppose she doesn't have to read it now.
I see. And is this letter still near the place where you tried to take your own life?
Yes. And I don't want anyone reading my last words. I mean, I'm still here. If you bring me back that letter, then perhaps we'll talk.
What key?
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Okay.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
This hospital seems to be
My sweet girl.
Who have I not met? Have I met everybody? No, there's 2 people missing still. What? Where in the fuck are these last 2 people? Who is this bitch? How do I... Oh, I haven't talked to Sean yet.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Is that right?
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The wet boot boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Wait, wasn't that Clay Cox that was the one we almost ate?
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Yep.
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, though.
Indeed it is.
A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Harriet Jones.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
Is that who's in here?
I cannot enter.
Okay, it's locked. I can't talk to her. Dear brothers, I must now draw your attention to a very important point. The use of garlic as protection against vampires. Let's be crystal clear on this subject. Garlic will never protect you against those creatures. No matter how fresh, how strong, and how smelly. Garlic is totally useless as a defense. I can never say enough how damaging that novel of Bram Stoker has been. Leave Bram Stoker out of this. Yes, of course. Population of Slavic countries place garlic cloves in coffins, and yes, of course, inhabitants of Santorini. Oh, I can't fucking say that word. Santorini. Whatever. Island hang garlic on their windows. There would be so much to write about this place, and someday soon I hope to go back to this island to further explore occult tradition. But that is not to protect the living from the devil. It is to tell the dead that they are aware of their malevolence. It is a symbol, nothing more, nothing less. You sure? So please, by all means, yes, wear garlic, show garlic, hang garlic, and tell the shadows that you are not afraid. But if you're looking for supernatural protection, you will have to search much deeper in the forgotten secrets of the occult tradition. For here is the truth, my fellow brothers. Garlic does not repel vampire, but all the fresh plants will hurt them. Plants. It is as if their body could not stand the presence of botanical elements. I have seen enraged volp flee. Volp? What? Enraged volp flee when attacked with a rose. Yes, a simple rose. I have witnessed a violent Ekon fall down and beg for mercy when struck by a wooden stake. I don't know why it's so effective, and I would give my left arm to find the answer to that mystery, but the truth remains nevertheless. Vampires are very sensitive to fresh herbs, plants, and woods. From Facing the Shadows, How and Why by Usher Taltry, Primate of St. Paul. Why was that sitting right here? It was a random place for that to be sitting. Yeah, I don't know where those other two people are, and I have no way of getting to Harriet Jones. I think we've done everything. Or at least we've talked to everybody. Anything over here?
It's locked.
Oh, that was that room that he walked into, where he was injecting drugs. That's right, I remember.
Not now.
Oh, okay. He's having a wank sesh right now. He's right next to the door too. He's going ham at it. Okay, there's nothing upstairs, apparently. Those are just pointless doors. What's down this way? Nothing, nothing. Ooh, goodies. Notes, the patient face has been heavily burnt and disfigured by a bomb during the war. Even with the use of the strongest sedatives, he affirms to regularly endure severe pain from the wounds, as if the flames are still burning under the skin. He says examinations of the cauterized tissues show no trace of inflammation, infection, or swelling. Scars are clean. Could be a case of persisting nerve damage. The patient never ceases to blame himself for his disfiguration. Could be a case of guilt of the survivor. Phantom pain manifesting as a punishment for not dying with his comrades. Interesting. Dr. Aykroyd, Dr. Strickland, Dr. Tippett. Oh.
I cannot enter.
I cannot enter. Oh, is that like one of those doors I can't open unless I kill them? Alright.
It's locked, all right.
Well, can't go in that door. Or that. Dr. Reed. I mean, Swansea has his own. Didn't even read it. Dr. Swansea. Wait, that means we have new dialogue for you.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Surgery could help you. Can't hide forever. Beauty is not everything. You can't hide forever? Let's think about it clinically. Surgery could help you. No. I don't think he cares because he says he takes drugs, but it doesn't help. Surgery wouldn't help. Beauty is not everything. That's telling him you're beautiful no matter who you are. That's a bullshit excuse. This is essentially can't hide forever. You gotta come to terms with it. Right?
You know you can't hide forever. One day you'll have to face your loved ones. Until that day, you have no chance of real recovery.
My friends all died in the trenches. It's shameful enough to be alive with these stupid scars. I don't want my children to see me like this.
Oh.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Huh. Yeah, let's change the subject real quick.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
You told me before you don't want your children to see you like this. Do you have any other family?
My sister Agatha has raised my nippers since their mother died. Don't want them to look at me like this.
How could children despise their father injured in the war?
What do you think? They saw me. Once. My poor angels left the room crying. They keep on having nightmares every week, my sister told me.
Your sister's not a child. I'm sure she has nothing but respect for a wounded soldier, and you are her brother.
You don't know my sister Agatha. She may be young, but she's all discipline and morality. If she ever found out what really happened...
She doesn't have to know.
She's a sly one, my sister. One day she'll find out the truth and knock 7 bells out of me. Nah. I'm better off here.
Already.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
The pain. It's here again.
Oh, right. Didn't we... I don't think we ever confronted what's-his-face over here. How about the drugs?
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Yeah, good news. You're exhausted.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Oh yeah, Nurse Brannigan.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that. I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
I know you're taking drugs, Corcoran. Why take such a risk?
I need it to endure the long shifts. We have no idea how long the epidemic will last. We can't let it win.
Oh, it's assholey. That's even worse. This can't be a long term. Yeah, I agree.
I understand the gesture, Doctor. An immediate answer to an emergency situation, but this can't be a long-term solution.
Thank you for your understanding, my dear colleague. And be assured, I have total control of my consumption.
Okay. I don't believe
Goodbye,
you.
Dr. Tibbets.
I have no belief in that. He's still down there. Where's this Brannigan woman? There she is.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me, nurse, did you know Dr. Tibbets was addicted to medication?
I suspected this behavior for some time, but never dared to ask him about it. Until the day he confessed to me.
Confessed?
Why would he confess to you about his addiction, Nurse Brannigan?
Don't you know you doctors can't hide anything from a nurse? We're always there, even if you don't notice us.
Do you consider yourselves our confessors, Nurse Brannigan?
I wouldn't dare, Dr. Reed. But I'm intrigued. How did you discover Dr. Tibbets' secret?
What can I say? I seem to have a knack for discovering secrets.
And for hiding them as well.
Do you approve of his addiction?
Of course I don't approve. But I understand he needs it to fight the exhaustion. Let's hope he'll stop injecting himself once the epidemic is over.
And what if he doesn't?
Then we'll have to convince him to stop. I believe he's still in control of his addiction, for now. But we must remain vigilant.
Okay.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Alright, enough lollygagging. To my room!
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Ooh. Dear Jonathan, I asked Nurse Crane to secure an office for you on the second floor. Please forgive the austere decoration, but Pembroke Hospital is not exactly the Ritz. Sorry to let you discover your office alone, but I need to sleep a little before going back to work. I am just a mere mortal after all. Ha ha ha. I also gave orders to let you rest, and for the staff to never enter your room. You will be able to sleep all day without being disturbed and work at night without raising any suspicion. I'm afraid the place is quite messy, but you will be able to conduct your experiments here at your own pace. You also notice there is an open window with a scaffolding that will allow you to enter and exit the hospital without being noticed. I imagine how awfully new and disturbing this all must be for you, but believe me, I have studied enough of your species to understand what you must be facing and feeling. Be assured I'll do whatever I can to help you in this ordeal. Know that you're not completely alone facing it. I'm glad I met you. These dark times are all presently facing. That we are all presently facing. I hope your future collaboration will yield great results. Welcome to the Pembroke, my esteemed colleague. We shall talk soon. Yours sincerely, Edgar Griffith Swansea. Yes, I left a copy of some of my notes concerning what I've discovered about Econ in the last few years. Feel free to read it if you need some guidance, as long as you don't use this knowledge to take advantage of me. But I will. Not. Oh god, more reading. It is a rare opportunity, and almost a privilege to approach a vampire, to observe their most intriguing physical and psychological traits with a scientific and rational eye. Here are some of the most fascinating abilities I've personally observed over the last 10 years, while interviewing a few vampires, or Econ, as they prefer to call themselves. Supernatural speed. A vampire can act and move like a mortal in all his actions, but the trained eye will spot that they have the keenest senses and can react quicker than any mortal. On a few occasions, alarm, surprise, necessity to flee has seen the vampire move so quickly it is almost as if they have vanished to reappear somewhere else. The human eye cannot follow their movements when they act so quickly. But it is not a teleport or dematerialization. It is only a supernatural speed for me, like cat-like attribute, which allows them to run, dodge, or jump longer and faster than us. I also noticed that such speed seems to exhaust them, and they are bound to physical limitations. Mesmerism. One of the most powerful abilities a vampire can deploy is the capacity to force a mortal to obey them. I call the trait mesmerism, but it has nothing to do with the mortal ability to alter a subject's mental state. A vampire can bend a mortal to their will, and then they can even break a mind. A vampire I interviewed told me the more a subject tries to resist, the more permanent the damage will be. As if the vampire could literally fracture their target's psyche. The same vampire explained to me that this ability required time to master, and that the result could vary wildly. From one subject to another, implant a false memory, erase a painful one. The possibilities are endless and frightening. Blood awareness. This may be the most catastrophic ability of all. Concerning vampires, since it is the cause of so many tragedies for them and us, vampires crave blood. I did not pause. Fuck. It just fucking paused the game. Right. Where was I? Vampires crave blood. They must use their will to restrain themselves from frenzied drinking every drop of blood they can see. They need blood to function and to express their full supernatural traits. As a famished vampire can be very weak, and even if he cannot die of hunger or thirst, this need for blood may explain why vampires are so aroused by it. A vampire confessed to me that blood could sometimes blind him, since its smell and attractiveness can be so strong when he focuses. A vampire can almost see blood all around them, inside warm bodies, through walls, and supposedly clean etc. The same vampire even told me that he can see if a mortal has clean blood or is ill, and that in some cases he can even sense diseases, infected clothes, or even items in a room. If this is true, it could have so many medical applications, it's almost beggars belief. So much reading. Why can't I move? What? What did I do? What happened? I didn't do it, I swear. What? What the f... Ah! This is the DLC part. I personally don't like this costume. Oh, so this is... Wait, I got... 75, 65. That's what I've been using. Oh, that thing's like 10 times better. 54, 45. Ooh. Where'd I get this? Oh no, that was before we attacked William. That's... Remember that. I said we're never going to use that. And I meant it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Fantastic. I'm going to use that more. I don't... Oh. Ooh. Wait, back, demon. I'll do that. Oh, I have to have more abilities. Serums? No, serums. Okay, let me just... Do I lose the weapon? Weapons? If I just... swap? No, I don't, because I still have it down at the bottom. Excellent. Fantastic. I just lose the costume. Yeah, I didn't really like the costume anyways, so... Meh.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Looks like a weed to me, not a flower. That's just me. Okay. What is this? You have enough components to improve one of your weapons. Okay. We'll probably want to upgrade this first. Enhanced damage. Increased blood absorption. Let's do damage. And we can use the other weapon. The hacksaw. Oh, I can't upgrade it. I was gonna use that one to absorb blood. since it's my secondary, will have one for damage and one for blood. That sounds like a fantastic idea. Can I upgrade this? No. Can I upgrade... That's not what I click on. No, I just don't have any trigger parts. I don't have anything else. Alright, cool. I feel like I'm gonna need stuff. More than I'm gonna need money. Although I really want money too. Oh yeah, I should probably analyze that. Ooh.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching.
Indeed.
The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
It randomly cuts off, alright. Let me just sit down. Okay, let's think about this logically. We're gonna need health. We're gonna need more stamina. Oh! I dipped fully in stamina. They get me more health. What is this? Blood capacity. That's good. We'll definitely want that. Oh, cool. That unlocked that. That would have been nice. I'm out of fucking space for anything else. The following night.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Good question. Alright, I guess... Oh, what are you doing here?
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
No, I'm not gonna say that. Oh, and septics at all? There's nothing here? How would I know?
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
Oh, cool.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons.
Of course.
Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way, then. Thank you, nurse.
Thank you, nurse. Oh, shit. Almost 2 hours. Yeah, we'll call it there. We'll call it here. It's been 2 hours. I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.